So since I was unable to upload my audio to Google Slides, I just decided to do a YouTube video to kind of explain my slides, and you can have my voice in the background explaining what's going on. This is Aspen. She has attachment issues when I'm home, so if I'm not giving her attention, she's barking, so she's just gonna be here. She's a tiny menace. But we're gonna dive into the PowerPoint, which is why are teachers quitting. The article is a series, but I only did it on part 1. I have a list of the authors, and it was published September 2nd of 2022. So to start off my first article summary as to why teachers are quitting, teacher burnout is at an all-time high right now. There is little to no appreciation from communities, from the school districts, and teachers are putting in a lot more work than they are being compensated for. So that has also strived to cause teachers to have more of a burnout, putting in 60 to 80-hour weeks with little to no payout. And due to COVID, there are a number of behavioral issues caused by students. Teachers have tried to work with districts and talk to counselors and try to get different ways to focus on this different social emotional learning, so that way students are being attended to for their behavioral needs and to help it decrease within the classroom. Due to these needs not being met, a lot of teachers have started burning out by their 5th year, and this isn't unheard of. I've been told all throughout college that most teachers quit within their 4th or 5th year, but these numbers have dramatically increased recently due to needs not being met by the district and the school board. There's a quote that said, a study by the National Center of Educational Statistics found in March that 44% of educators intend to leave or have left by their 5th year. And this has increased to a total number of 41% of teachers leaving within the district based off of the prior year. So June of 2022, there was a 41% increase in teacher vacancies rather than in 2020. Almost 2 in 5 teachers plan to quit by their 5th year. So based off of other research, I found that it was only 1 in 5. So that number has greatly increased throughout the nation. And another reason why teachers are leaving is because there has been a lack of respect within schools. And it is causing teachers to now want to leave due to political views being included in how they have to teach academically, and just based off of different politics within school districts. So another article summary I have are teacher salaries. And as we all know, teacher salaries are something that has been discussed for years and years and years and years and years. I've been told about it in almost every single one of my education classes. I have been told by so many people that I am not going into education for the fame and fortune. I am fully aware of this. However, more women have decided to enter careers that are lower stress, involve more creative thinking, are actively more valued, and have an increased pay rate. So that has become an issue for schools because there is now a 4% decrease in female teachers from previous years. And a Yale School of Management economics professor stated that this is good for women, but this is bad for schools because schools are a female-dominant career. So a 4% decrease in female teachers is a little bit excessive. Within the article that I have chosen, there were a list of teachers talking about why they left, what they decided to do after they left. And so I just decided to compile a list of some of the reasons I thought were very interesting. So starting out, we have Anna Sutter, 28 years old. She was a school counselor. She said, I was working 60 hours a week, getting to a school sometimes as early as 4:30 in the morning. She wouldn't have time to eat lunch. She never checked her phone. She would be seeing 4 to 5 students a day. assessing suicide attempts and mental health disorders. She said she lost a total of 30 pounds during this time, and she was living very close to poverty. So she was putting in so many hours within the school district trying to help these students, again, for little to no payout, living close to poverty, not having time for her personal self, not even having time to eat lunch, which I thought was a little bit ridiculous. Then we have Kari Audrey. She was an English language arts teacher. She said that coming back from COVID, a lot of her students, calm down, dog. A lot of her students were having issues catching up on the curriculum. She said that it was very hard to meet their emotional or their social emotional needs, and she felt as if she was a doctor trying to treat 37 different patients because she had to create new curriculum and create new lessons for different students based off of where they were intellectually. And then we have Marilyn DeBosque. That's how I'm assuming you pronounce her last name. She's 34. She was an assistant principal. She was a principal in Texas. She thought that becoming higher up within administration and within the belt of education, that she would have a higher role to play and be able to help her teachers because she started out as a teacher. She said the state was mandated to take the STAR test, and based off of those scores is where the teachers were getting paid. So she said my district had a stipend equivalent to $11, and some districts were paid up to nothing. So I thought that that was a little crazy, that test scores equated to educational payout and how a teacher pays, especially because as someone who's taken the STAR test, I could tell you that it's the most ridiculous test ever, and a lot of things that are on the test, it's really hard to teach to students. So that was just based off of my personal knowledge of it, not really the educational standpoint. But yeah, those are a few reasons as to why teachers left around the country. Significance. This is significant to talk about because there are a number of teachers who are leaving, meaning that they need more teachers. So they're being overworked and underappreciated. In some cases, schools are allowing educators with no credentials into the schools. So that becomes a big risk when educating students in the future, knowing which students do and do not understand the curriculum. It's also significant for baby teachers like myself to know, because although we are taught a lot of the issues within education, it's very important to discuss the more turmoil charges that we're going to be facing, I guess you could say. So, and now that politicals are being involved, that's also something that's really significant that needs to be talked about. Application to future. So I included this graph, and it just talks about like different industries that are being burnt out, and at the bottom, the lowest, you could see finance, community, social services, utilities, technology, law, healthcare, retail. But at the very top in blue, you see 44%, which is K through 12 education. So that number of, my brain is gone. That number of educators are being burnt out. They're the highest within the nation. Teachers are facing the most backlash due to COVID-19, due to the community, due to just a great deal of things. So teacher burnout rates are the highest out of most careers. More teachers are striving to find higher paying professions, as they should, because again, they're putting in 60 to 80 hours of work with little to no payout. Newer teachers are becoming more aware of the issues they will be facing in the future, and there is a higher risk of teachers quitting within the 5 years into their career. I know the teacher that I'm studying under does not plan on returning to District 20 after this year, just due to the fact that her needs are being ignored, students' needs are being ignored. So there has been an increase in teacher burnout, and I don't know when this is going to change, when anything is going to get better. So tying it into the course, I decided to tie it into Module 4, Educator Effectiveness and Evaluation, really just going back into teacher philosophy and evaluations within Colorado, and what needs are being met and what isn't. And then I tied it to this module, Module 6, Finance, Government, Policy Reform. And then I asked the question, will it improve? Do we think it's going to improve? How will it improve? And how long do we think it's going to take to improve? Just because personally, I don't want to be that teacher that's burnt out by year 5. I really enjoy educating. I want to be a teacher. I went into this career field hoping I'd be 30, 40 years down the road still in the classroom. But with the way that things are going within a classroom, it makes it very difficult to want to continue to pursue this type of career and not join those others who know that they can do better in a different career and who know that there are other options. And so we will see. But that is the teacher burnout.